Hey there. My name is Dick, and I'm an alcoholic. Today is my 71st birthday, and in 2 weeks, I'll be celebrating 26 years of sobriety. I thought for my 26 years, I'd like to make a homemade video of my story. My story is not unique or probably different than many, but 26 years is a long time. And if you think that after viewing this, that there may be somebody it might help, or even yourself, or if you want to post it somewhere or whatever, it's not private. You can do whatever you want with it. I don't mind it getting out there. I have nothing to hide from anybody, and I like to think that I'm open and honest. I'm going to do this in sections, but it's all going to be on one video. So there may be different backgrounds, there may be different things, but I'm going to try and tell my story from beginning to end and explain how I got here, what happened before, and the fact that Alcoholics Anonymous, I give a lot of credit to for getting me this far, the program, and also helping me to understand what it's like to live my best life. So, if you think you might find this interesting, by all means, stick by and maybe see what else I have to say. I'm not sure yet myself. It's kind of fly by the seat of my pants. So here we go. I'm a little bit nervous about the whole thing. I have done this before, but never on my own. So I'm going to do it, and hopefully it helps somebody somewhere. So, with that said, let's begin. So, as it turns out, I think this video might turn out to be a little longer than I had anticipated, but you may find it interesting. I don't know. I'll start out. I was born in May 1953, which was a kind of like a really good time to be young. There was lots of kids around because the Second World War was just over, and it seemed like there was a lot of kids in my area where I grew up. We weren't really rich, but we were well off, and I can't complain about being abused or anything like that. I was a spoiled kid. Uh, when I wanted something, I got the best there was of it. My parents would rather spend a lot of money on something than buy me something cheap. And I really enjoyed having things that other people didn't have. It made me popular, and other kids wanted to play with the things I had. And uh, I can't explain what it is, but it made me feel good to be the person other kids wanted to play with. And that I had tons and tons of friends, and some really good friends, and some I still have today. I was very, very lucky that way. My parents really loved me, and as I got into my teenage years, I found out that it was like too much. But our family suffered from the disease of alcoholism. I had many aunts and uncles and cousins who fell victim to that. My parents drank almost every day, but only never do I remember them getting drunk or anything. They would have a few. My father imported wine, and back then, drinking was way more social than I find it is today. It's almost like everything you did revolved around alcohol being part of the party or the wedding or the event, social event or whatever. as I said, my dad, he imported all kinds of rare wines and stuff, and our basement was full of cases of wine and that. And it was uh, every time we had company for dinner that the wine flowed, and we as kids were allowed to help ourselves to that. It was never forbidden. I didn't care one way or another until I got to my teenage years when I just couldn't get enough. But that's how it all started out. Uh, I was very, I guess I could say I thought a lot of myself. I played a lot of sports I was very good at. If I wasn't good, I thought I was. So I was really happy and really had a very, very good childhood growing up. I started to, I guess, see problems when I hit my teen years and I started having what you would call panic attacks and problems with my nerves and that, which my father also suffered from. And one thing I'll never forget is having a panic attack in my parents' living room one night. I was maybe 12 or 13 years old. And back then, the doctors made house calls to your house. My mom called the doctor and because I couldn't take it. It was one after another after another. The doctor came in and saw what was going on, and he hit me with a syringe full of liquid Valium. And that instantly solved all my problems. And the feeling I got from that was something I would find I would chase, for 30, 35 years after that. I loved that feeling. And it seems like I was taking Valium in pill form and whatever for a very, very long time after that. I had issues with my parents in my teenage years, and I stopped talking to them, and I stopped talking to people, and I kind of withdrew into depression and stuff, and ended up going to the Clark Institute of Psychiatry for over a year to get my head set right, and it really helped. It really did, and it also uh, I found that I learned a lot about psychiatry by being treated. And I used that a lot to kind of manipulate people. And I found that people would come to me to talk about things, and it gave me sort of something on them, one up on them. And, uh, I started to learn to like that kind of stuff. And that's not a good thing for somebody young and immature as I was. And so uh, that's where it goes from there. I'm going to take a break for a minute and I'll get back to you from here. Okay? I was talking about manipulation and manipulating people. I just touch on it briefly that it was something I found really, really easy to do. I don't know why, but I seem to read people very easily and could find out where they were vulnerable and how to use them or get what I wanted from people. Not a thing I'm proud of, but it came along with finding out that I was a narcissist. I found out much too late. I wish I'd have known earlier or done something about it. But when you only care about yourself and you don't really feel anything for others, it doesn't bother you to do or use people, which I did a lot. And something I'm not proud of, but, you know, I can't take it back. So I move on. Um, In my young years, uh, I had lots of friends, but everybody sort of had a job to do for me. And I grew up in a kind of what you would call nowadays a gang. There was an area we lived in where a whole bunch of us got together and protected one another and things. And I'll always remember when we all got shipped out to another school, I think it was grade 7. I kind of stole this guy's girlfriend, and he was very upset about it. And he was a tough guy. So I went to one of the guys in our little gang, and I said, "You're not going to let him like beat the tar out of me, because you got to tell him that if he picks on me, he's taking on everybody. Aren't we all like don't we all protect one another, and don't we all belong as a gang?" And so he went and he talked to the guy, and the guy never touched me. And that really is something I'll never forget, because that was so simple to find a solution and not get the tar beat out of me for what was a rotten thing to do.